Hi, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. This time we have the Tojiro DP Damascus Nakiri 165mm knife. So these knives have a core steel of VG10 full stainless, heat treats around 60 Rockwell. It's a proven quality cutlery steel, and Tojiro does a pretty nice job on their steel. This also has a soft stainless multi-layered cladding on it. You can see the layers. It's a little tricky with the lighting here, but you can see the layers there on either side. So it's an all stainless steel knife. The weight and dimensions can vary just a little bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 176 grams or 6.2 ounces. Usable edge length is around 165, including part of this curved tip here, or 6.5 inches. And then the overall length is about 295 millimeters or 11.6 inches. These are fairly thin blades, so on this particular one I measured about 2 millimeters at the back, above the back of the blade, then about 1.7 in the middle, and it might go down a little bit from there and just kind of hold that towards the front of the blade. And then it's obviously, they've got a fair amount of stiffness here. Again, fairly thin blade. The grind actually gets these pretty thin at the edge. If I can get this camera to do what I want here. There we go. Being a little finicky today. So you've got, these are fairly thin at the edge, so the performance should be pretty good. This is not particularly tall. The Nakiris can be all over the place on height. So this is a very low, fairly non-tall version, about 45.5 millimeter at the back. Handles are black micarta or possibly even G10, but either way, it's very durable handle material that's not going to warp or get water in it. They're very moisture resistant. They don't shrink or swell, so it's really top-notch handle material that's very durable. You've got an all stainless full tang throughout the handle, and then stainless steel rivets. There's no metal bolster on these, either pinned or integrated. So the bolster is kind of the end of the handle. The weight balance is going to be back a little bit because the handle is fairly heavy. In this particular one, I'd say the balance point is just behind that choil right here and just in front of the handle. So that's about where it is. On a pinch grip, it's going to feel a little handle heavy, but that's fairly typical of a Western style or yo handled knife in most cases. Fit and finish is good. They clean up a little bit of the sharpness of the spine, and they do a little bit on the choil down into the neck here. They could maybe do a little bit more, but the last two I've had haven't been too bad. You could clean that up pretty easily with some sandpaper strips and clean that up to your liking, including the spine if you wanted to make that a little bit smoother. Out of the box edge, pretty nice. I'll give them a 6 out of 10. They've got a pretty decent out of the box edge with a fair amount of polish to it. Again, nice fit and finish on the overall blade. Let's take our beauty shot here. It's a little tricky showing these layers, but do the best we can. So this will give you an idea of the layers. Let's see, right there. You can see the finish on it. You've got some etched kanji and other nomenclature on the right side of the blade as you'd be holding it. And then here's the left side of the blade. Basically just your layered cladding. And then there's your core steel and then your edge bevel, the shiny part. Let's see, balance point, we did that. I think all we got left is the cutting board profile. So let's take a look at that. Here we go. So here's your edge profile. This is fairly flat towards the back half. It kind of rolls into a stop. It doesn't have a hard stop, but it rolls into a stop. And then gentle belly, kind of a fulcrum point right in here. And then we've got a rounded tip. So you can rock with these. You can rock with the Nakiri if it's got a rounded tip on it, and it'll rock halfway well, halfway decently. So you can rock a little bit with this. It's not a super flat version, so you can definitely chop, that part, this part. Again, you got a little bit of a fulcrum point on this particular sample, but another sample could be slightly different. But it gives you a general idea of the edge profile. So these are a nice value line of knives with a good fit and finish to them. Cool look with the multi-layered Damascus cladding, and then a very durable handle. So this is the Tojiro DP Damascus Nakiri 165mm knife.